Hello everybody and welcome to another Peteman Reviews. Today we have the Transformers Generation 1 commemorative edition of Eject. If you've seen other videos you've seen I had Rewind as well, and the two are quite similar, and I might get the name occasionally wrong, but this is definitely the review of Eject. So, being a commemorative edition, like the Masterpiece ones, Eject comes in a little cassette tape holder, as you can see here. He also comes with two chrome plated lasers, or weapons rather, and we'll put them on in a second. So on to the transformation. As you can see, obviously take him out of this little cassette. The cassette itself, nice and shiny. The chrome does reflect very well, or rather the chrome stickers do reflect very well off that, so that looks very, very good. Now this side is obviously the robot side. Just before we do the transformation, I just want to point out a couple of differences between this version and the originals. So this one has an Autobot symbol there and a heat tab there. Now I'll just bring over his Spark brother. So this is an original release of Rewind. As you can see, there is no logo there, and you have to take his gun off. But if we look here, there's the heat rub. So it is a similar position as that. It's not. That one's put on straight. Obviously that one is not. But the Autobot logo disappears. So that's obviously a new addition, which is interesting. So, transformation, very simple as it's a cassette. So these pop out like here. By doing so, it allows the head to pop up. Quite simple. Legs, you rotate, bend down like that. Same again on this side. And then they pull out like that, and then they pull out like that. Feet are down here, and you just flip and around, flip and around. Arms out like that, and then you just flip down and flip down. His hands, he hasn't really got hands to speak of, but there are little ones here. You can just see, here we are, see, that just flips down like that, and then of course on the other side, down like that. Now, we had those guns. Now, like Rewind, Eject doesn't have anywhere to hold his hand, the guns in his hand, but you see these holes in his arm, they do fit in there. So there we are, there's one, and then we'll do the same with the other one. So that covers up the heat insignia like that. There we are. Ooh, when he balances a bit, there we are. So there is Eject. We'll just zoom a little bit on him. You can see it's a good looking robot, nice, very clear. The gold on the blue is a good effect. I have to say it's not quite as good as Rewind. I'll just get him in shot a bit more. Not quite as good as Rewind with the gold on the black, but it's still a very good model. Nice colour scheme. Compare him in size with Blaster. You just have to go up a bit. There we are. So as you can see, Blaster is obviously substantially taller than them. That's to be expected. It does perhaps give a slightly more accurate size comparison between those guys and Soundwave and his cassettes. But overall, as I say, the Blaster model we've talked about before, and I have said I think it's too large and too chunky. But it is actually a very good size comparison between him and the little cassettes. I'm told the cassettes are, I think it's 1.1 to 1 with the real life micro cassette, which is actually pretty good. It's not often you get a transforming toy which is as close to the size that it should be. So there we are. So just focus back a bit more on our subject, Transformer Eject. Now, if you've seen Transformers the movie, you know who Eject is. If you haven't seen Transformers the movie, I think he appears in 1 or 2 episodes after that. It's virtually no presence at all. I think he's some form of tracker or something. I don't really know, and I'm starting to fumble here because I can't think of him appearing really in any comics or TV series. He might make the odd appearance here and there, but it's a background character or it's a very minor character. I couldn't tell you anything about his personality. Unless I looked it up on Transformers Wiki, for example. And we can all do that, so, we can do that in our own time. I won't look it up and tell you about it because you might know more than me. You might be able to look it up and go and give them a hit. It's always useful for that. In terms of the toy, it's a nice toy. I would recommend getting hold of it. Obviously, this guy came as part of a set with Blaster, Ramhorn and Steeljaw. But if you were going out there to buy him on its own, maybe the original Generation 1 release, I would recommend doing so. It looks good. The weapons are quite oversized for considering the fact he's a set, but actually they do look very nice. It's a simple transformation, but you would expect that. As this is a new toy, the transformations, the joints are all very, very good, very strong, and the transformation works well. So yeah, I would recommend getting him. In terms of character, I don't know anything about him. I couldn't give you much to know because he just was never really used. Whereas someone like Rumble, even someone like Frenzy, had far more character than poor old Eject ever did. So there we are. That's Transformers Generation 1 25th anniversary release, Eject. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave any comments below, and as ever, click on the links and look at some of my other videos. Thank you very much. Goodbye.